All right, I've had kind of a frustrating morning. I think y'all will appreciate how stupid this is. Occasionally, someone on, let's say Reddit, which is literally true in this case, will post a thread, and they're like, "Hey, check it out! I have this video game that never came out. I have the only copy of it. It just materialized in my life. What should I do?" My job being what it is, I am always tagged in on these conversations, Twitter, etc. Panicked emails, stuff like that. Like, please take care of this. This just happened. Someone on Reddit, I believe it might have been yesterday, was like, "Hey, I have the Nintendo 64 version of SimCopter by Maxis, and
Whoa!
we don't know of another one." And he showed screenshots and stuff, and so he's got SimCopter. Everyone's tagging me in. He's being weird about it. Last I heard, he was asking like a preservation group to like buy it from him and then dump it, but then send the cartridge back. Like that level of weird. And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, we have that. We have this cartridge somewhere. It was donated to us at the foundation like 3 years ago, and I just haven't gotten to it yet. And I'm like, oh God, we have this. I could just fix this right now.
Shoot.
I know it's in this office. I have checked every box in this office more than twice today. I cannot find it. I found 3 other Nintendo 64 prototypes I forgot about. Found those.
Always the way.
Have not found SimCopter yet. Went and checked my email to see if there were clues from, I don't know. I don't even know what clues there would be in my email. But in doing so, I found that we have the source code for SimCopter, but I don't have the cartridge for the Nintendo 64 version. So the guy has since deleted his thread and disappeared. So it's like double pressure to fix the situation. And the point is,
you're going to spend this whole show looking for it.
I need more help here, man. I need more help. I need more money to hire more help to help me clean the mess that I've made over the last 5 years of collecting priceless history and putting it in unmarked boxes, because I'm only one man, everyone.
Frank, I think I forgot to tell you that last time I was there, I borrowed your copy of SimCopter for the N64. It totally slips my mind, but I'll bring it back.
Is it any good?
It's okay.
Welcome back to Insert Credit. It's episode 238, the video game talk show featuring a panel of experts who absolutely must answer whatever question I pose to them within 6 minutes or face the consequences. I'm Alex Jaffe, and my least favorite way to die in a video game is when I go down a pit to find out what's down there, only to find out that it just kills you.
Oh, that's really good. I don't know that anyone's going to top that. My name is Frank Cifaldi. My least favorite way to die in a video game. Completely unavoidable, unfair, off-screen shot hits me.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
never play Call of Duty online, I'd say. I'm Jim Rogers. My least favorite way to die in a video game is when you know you're dead, and then you just have to wait more than 3 seconds. It's just 1, 2, 3. If you have to wait that long to die, it's very frustrating. Where it's like, oh, I can't win. Like in an auto-scrolling level, and you're like stuck on the bottom, and then you're standing there, and you just gotta wait.
I thought you were talking about maybe like the really, really cool animations that like Earthworm Jim forces you to watch every time for too long.
Yeah. Oh my God. Or, if you're like stuck in a combo in a fighting game. I mean, fighting games are built around this. It's the other person is killing you, and you're in the middle of it. They start up a combo, and you're like, oh, I got hit, and now I'm done. There's no way to get out of this combo. There's just no way, unless I'm playing Killer Instinct, in which case there's, I believe, a good 2-word phrase to describe what I can do. Otherwise, I just got to stand here and watch myself die, and there's another person who is laughing at me, and a whole crowd of people laughing at me.
You're getting juggled, but they're the clown.
Exactly.
I'm Brandon Sheffield, and I'm my least favorite way of dying in a video game. Sure, it's related to pits. When you got to jump across a bunch of little precarious pits, and then there are hazards in the air that are designed to knock you perfectly into the pits, and you have to be like really close to frame perfect in order to hit them or avoid them, and it's just not fun. I just want to breeze past those sections.
Frank, you won last week's episode, and that means you have the opportunity to ask us all a question here at the top of the show.
I just gave you some good bonus content. I don't
Or
have
you
to
could
go
let me
question.
ask. I could have asked Frank a question.
Well,
Yeah, go. You know what? Yeah, actually, Tim had a question he wanted to ask me. I'm gonna pass the baton. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my question, Frank. Here's my question. In simple terms, my question is, did I goblinize? Let me explain what I mean by that question. I hurt my back somewhat recent. Did y'all hear that? Right?
Yeah.
Heard that.
My back is messed up. I heard you said you were going to a chiropractor.
I was temporarily, sure. Yeah.
You went to a chiropractor at one point. What's that like? I'm going to a chiropractor soon. My back is messed up, and I know everyone on this podcast, except Alex Jaffe, is over the age of 40 at this point, right? Right.
By how many days? By 4 days. Yes.
Yeah, because I recall. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
happy birthday.
Alex Jaffe's not 40 years old yet, but guess what, Jerry?
It'll happen.
You will be someday.
Oh, not the
It's
way
gonna
I'm
get-
eating.
Hold on. Nice. This is a real concern. Did you know, you all out there listening, whether you like it or not, you can hurt your back. Even just playing video games, right? Which is I'm pretty sure that's what I was doing.
Even just sitting around, you could do it.
What do we all have to say about that?
It's bad.
Like, I know Frank went to a chiropractor. Did that help?
I did. Well, okay.
It probably wasn't for a lumbar disc herniation, which is what I have, which just means one of my lumbar discs is a little inflated, and I've got weak knees because it's real bad. I should be sitting up more straight here because I goblinized. That's what
Okay.
happened.
So the chiropractors on the forums can yell at me later, I guess. But my take on the practice is that it's for temporary relief, but doesn't really do much for you long term. And did it help me? Yeah, occasionally, like my ribs would get out of place, stuff like that, and they could kind of get them back in. But it was not the root of my problem, and they were not really able to find the root of my problems. I was having like my right shoulder was just not great. In going to see a doctor who did things like ultrasound my muscles and actually like collect data and was interested in how my body worked. That ultimately, all it really was happening was that my right hip was out of place, and it just caused a chain reaction that went up to my shoulder, and I'm good now.
Oh, the chain.
And we did a really cool procedure where he extracted some plasma from me and just injected concentrated platelets into the damaged areas, and like my body just healed itself in the cool places.
That rules.
Yeah, it does rule. And what was even cooler is that this doctor that I saw does it to himself all the time. So he was like,
Wow.
right? Like he was explaining like, yeah, I play piano and I was having some, it was starting to hurt. So just just injected my hands and good as.
And the weird thing is I couldn't before.
Yeah. So like he's just constantly like hacking his body to just individually heal these small parts. And
This is like what people in the San Francisco Bay Area talk about, but you never have any evidence that they do it.
right.
Like body hacking.
So I have hacked my hip. I got a hacked hip, and now I'm good. But that said, Tim, it provides relief. It's all about alignment, but I don't get the impression that it's about keeping things aligned. You know what I mean? Like like you will get aligned and then fall back out. Is my experience. So there might be a physical therapy component to it as well.
I've been doing physical therapy for my neck and for my I got
Neck,
so many
your
problems here.
back.
I have this
Better.
beautiful chair, this beautiful chair, this steel case gesture with very good lumbar support and very good adjustable seat and back and everything. A nice headrest. I'm very ergonomical at my desk. It's just I do spend a lot of time sitting right here playing video games on the TV for capturing stuff. For research purposes, there will be hundreds of hours of sitting on this sofa. And my previous sofa messed with my back real bad. My back was driving me bonkers, and I ended up trashing the sofa. Nobody wanted it. It was a brand new sofa, Cyberpunk 2077 on this sofa. ended up just goblinizing my lower back, just ruining it. And this sofa made me a little more. This new sofa that I have, you all can't. The listener can't see it, though. You guys can likely see my large sofa. Won't say the name, the brand of the sofa, because I don't want to endorse it. I don't know yet if it's further goblinizing me. Though this sofa has not fixed miraculously my back. My back has continued to get worse, just at a slower pace than on the old sofa. The old sofa was an article sofa. It was a piece of trash. I don't recommend buying an article sofa.
I've been to a chiropractor. I don't know if you want to hear about it.
Oh shoot! Let's hear it.
So as you may or may not know, I was getting rear-ended in my car like once every 6-8 months. I'd just be like sitting at a stoplight or in a parking spot or whatever, and someone would just ram into the back of the car. And the last time that it happened, it was on the 5 freeway, and
Probably looking at his phone.
yeah, he was probably looking at his phone. He said that he oh well, then if we want to hear about this, I guess we won't hear about the chiropractor. The end.
I kind of, I mean, I'm somewhat, let's just use the phrase, viscerally interested in
Okay.
in listening to anecdotes about chiropractic.
I suppose we'll one up this question.
So one thing that you should know about chiropractors is they are not medical doctors. They do not have
Oh,
to go
yeah.
through the same rigorous training, and they're whatever school of chiropractic they get their thing from. It could be whatever. It could just be whatever. It's like homeopathic medicine. There's stuff that can help you, and there's stuff that's just like it's whatever. He did some stuff, and it was fine, but the overwhelming feeling that I got was being scammed.
Interesting.
He worked for a very short period of time on me, but also took a bunch of x-rays and then gave me electrolysis treatment while I was sitting in this massage chair, which was basically like a bunch of steel metal balls grinding against my bones is what it was, while my face was being electrocuted. And while this was happening, it was like one of the most uncomfortable feelings I've ever had. While this was happening, I was looking around the room that they had put me in at all of these oldie time newspaper articles that were about like from the early days of chiropractic or whatever you call it. And
Cowboy
and they
time.
yes, Cowboy Time Chiropractor.
Cowboy chiropractor.
Yes, exactly. Literally that. Back hurt from mining or whatever. And half of them were about how this is not a scam. This really works. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just so I was just surrounded by all this stuff that
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
this is not a scam. This is the real deal. It really helps you. While my face was being electrocuted and my back was being ground into by these metal
Jeez.
balls. And
Oh my God.
and my dad was like, he's the best.
The best guy in the city.
If this is the best that we got, I think this is not for me. And so I was just like, I'm gonna
Best.
see a real doctor.
Best backcracker in the city.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a real great name for like Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. God, like Jackson Backcracker, Cowboy Chiropractor. Like
Jackson Flack
There we
will
go.
fix your
Jackson Backcracker, Cowboy Chiropractor. How's that?
Yeah.
How's that for a TV show?
I would not watch that. Here's my first question. Norman Reedus recently spilled the beans that Kojima Productions is working on Death Stranding 2.
Yeah.
What's the Metal Gear Solid 2 style move they can make to subvert the first game?
Ooh, basically, Norman Reedus dies probably in like the first hour, and then it's Keanu Reeves.
Oh, I was going to say Guillermo del Toro is actually the secret protagonist.
Yeah, that would be funny. I'm guessing it's going to be Keanu Reeves. That's my guess, just off the top of my head. And then there will be no promotion about it, much like Keanu Reeves was like such a big deal for Cyberpunk 2077. What if it's just he's the main character of Death Stranding 2, but they don't do any press for it? That's the next level, is Kojima having a big Hollywood thing and then not like yelling about it for years before it happens. Because he had Kiefer Sutherland and MGS5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just guessing there's going to be a surprise, and it's going to be Keanu Reeves. I don't know why. That's just what it seems like.
But it's been done. I can't, what I mean?
Exactly.
He was just in Cyberpunk.
He was real good in there, but also it's secret. It would be secret Keanu Reeves. That's not been done.
But also the concept of the protagonist switcheroo is already done. Metal Gear Solid 2
Sure.
did.
He's got to do it again though. He's got to do it. He could do it better. Like doing it a second time would be so much funnier. because the stakes are higher now.
What if it's an entirely different game?
Could be good.
Right? He's setting you up for Death Stranding 2 as an actual sequel to Death Stranding, but it's like it ends up being a tactical game about deploying your delivery guys or something.
Like a Zone of the Enders.
Yeah. Pulling the rug like he did with whatever the last Metal Gear Solid was. 5?
5,
I
yeah.
wouldn't know Metal Gear Solid game. That was something else.
Yeah, it was a good weird one.
It was. I appreciate what it was, but it's 40 hours in. I don't feel like I was like partway into a story even yet. So not a Metal Gear game.
Very odd game. Death Stranding is also a very odd game, though.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just what he does now. He just makes weird ones. I remember when Death Stranding. I reviewed Death Stranding for a major publication, major video game publication, and I remember at the time that Sony sent me, made me sign an NDA, and they're like, if you'd like, at 3 p.m. on this day, you may make a tweet saying you were playing the game. It's like, oh, that's weird. I was like allowed to stay. I don't know if anybody here watched my Death Stranding review on Kotaku.com's YouTube channel. I think it's one of my favorite things.
I saw that.
And if you want to watch one thing that I did, I think that might be a funny one to watch. Even though I workshopped some of my best jokes out of it because they were too good. There's a part where I say reviewing Death Stranding is the Mount Everest of video game critic assignments. Quite fitting for a game starring a protagonist who looks like he just climbed Mount Everest twice. And the original joke was quite fitting for a game that stars a protagonist who looks like he just climbed K2 twice. I workshopped that down to climbed Mount Everest twice.
That's so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to build an audience at that point, not entertain the existing audience. And I think I made the right sacrifice. Whether you know it or not, everyone, I can express a little restraint in my writing, unlike Hideo Kojima, which if anybody who's played all the way, has anyone here beaten Death Stranding? Am I the only one?
Yeah, just you.
I don't know how one would.
I mean, I would have if not for the combat.
Appreciate that game, but I think I was like 20 hours in, and it was much like Metal Gear Solid 5, where it's just like, how much more of my life am I going to devote to this, man?
Well, in Death Stranding, about 40 more hours. It was very long, and I talk in my review briefly. I don't spoil anything in my review. If anybody wants to watch my review, I think my review was very fun because Sony said I could only use 20 minutes of footage, and my review is an hour long. So I just ostentatiously reuse a lot of the same stuff. I had a very good time pushing against the constraints of the NDA, much like Hideo Kojima had a very good time pushing against the restraints of the MSX hardware when he invented the stealth genre with Metal Gear, because he couldn't have more than one moving character at a time or whatever. Anyway, I say that there's never been a Hideo Kojima game that I have not finished like at sunrise, right. Because it's always the you think it's over. And Death Stranding was just the most hilarious over the top. The most over the top you think it's over. Nope. Like of video game history. We know Kojima has where there was like 8 hours of stuff. Like I'm about to fight the final boss, and then it's like, all right, this is the final boss. Let's see what happens. And then there's another final boss, and then there's an ending, and then another ending, and then the credits are like an hour long, and you're playing during the credits. And so here's what I would think. Kojima's had this idea forever about a game that destroys itself when you lose or when you finish it or whatever. Like when you die, the game destroys itself and you have to play it again. It just kind of sounds like arcade games, put another 100 yen in or whatever. It also sounds dangerously close to, he was dangerously thinking about NFTs even in the 1990s. I wouldn't put it past Kojima to, I don't know, incorporate some. We could sit here and brainstorm Kojima-esque ideas all day. Like maybe you have a character creator and you make the character, and then if you die, you've got to make a new character, and then that character's dead, and it's chasing you or whatever. It's like it's 10 miles behind you, and it's going to be fine. It's like the Nemesis system, but it's ghosts of your. I don't know. There's a million things you could do. I think it would be really funny if the game is only like an hour long, and then the ending is like 40 hours long. I think that's my joke answer. All right. You're just watching an ending for 40 hours. And it's just credits.
We're over time.
Yeah, much like Death Stranding ran over time for quite some time.
Boom.
Yeah.
What would it take to get you to buy alternate costume DLC?
What do you mean?
Is DLC even a thing anymore? Like it's just in
It
the game,
kind of
whatever,
is.
right?
It exists.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Like just a cosmetic new outfit for your character.
If it was like a gangster outfit and it was like a zombie game and I could be like a 1920s like Italian mobster,
Oh, like Stubbs the Zombie.
I'd pay $1 for that.
Actually, I have an answer that's very quick and succinct, which is it's a game I already play, and the entirety of the purchase benefits charitable cause I believe in.
Oh, yeah, not bad.
Can I ask, is this necessarily only cosmetic? Like it has no function?
It's
Because-
only cosmetic.
Okay, because I like when they
Interesting.
sell a costume and then the costume comes with a little story. Like if you do that for it, like I get a little extra scenario, then that's cool. But I guess if not, then one thing is if I want to give the developer additional money, I will do it.
Mhm.
Because sometimes you're just enjoying the game and it's like I wish these people I wish I could pay them a little more. If you're feeling nice, sometimes you feel that way.
I want to add that to my answer. That could be the cause I believe in. Also, is these people should eat more. Yeah.
Is there a specific character you want to dress up?
No.
I'm going to tell you what. I played that Super Mario Odyssey, played the heck out of it, right? And there's a lot of different outfits for Mario in that. There's different hats, different shirts, right? You can have like aviation Mario where he's got a leather jacket and like goggles.
Yeah.
And all of those outfits were so well designed. They were like so like really, really good looking outfits. I would have, at the time Mario Odyssey came out, I would have paid a couple dollars for more purchasable outfits in Mario Odyssey. That's my honest answer. Because there was like a football outfit where you can make Mario dress him up as a football player, right? But you can like take the helmet off so he's not wearing a helmet. And he just has like a cool football jersey. And it's the Nintendo 64 logo colors. And his number is 64. That's just really cool. Little stuff like that. That was maybe the best cosmetic outfits in a video game. And if they would have just had the guts to sell me a couple uniforms, I probably would have done it.
If I could pay $1 and turn Mario into Sonic, I mean, why not? It would be really
Why not?
stupid and it would be pointless.
Or turn him into Bonk.
But I'd pay $1 for it. Yeah, turn him into Bonk, turn him into Bubsy.
Well, knowing the way all the laws work, you would probably have to be like $8.
Yeah.
Because Sega would be wanting money over the table and under the table at the same time.
Here's one. Make my car look cooler if it's in an automobile video game and it doesn't change the stats, but it looks it's a cool car model. That's a cosmetic. Let me drive the Ferrari and Outrun, but now it's a Honda Prelude. I'll pay money for that.
Yeah,
Let me do it.
I'll tell you something. I technically already have paid a little bit of money for some cosmetic DLC in a game, and it makes me feel a little weird. Let me explain. I usually these days buy the digital deluxe version of a AAA first party video game. I feel like despite their somewhat ill reputation for respecting their past, a company like Sony PlayStation, they're not going to turn off Ghost of Tsushima for the PlayStation 5 at any point, right? They're probably they're probably never gonna set up a trigger that just turns it off and lets me never play it again. So I feel like buying the digital deluxe version of Sony's AAA exclusives is like the thing to do, because they usually give you some stuff, right? And I don't know why I buy the digital deluxe version. It's like $10 more, and I'm already spending $70 on a video game. So I did buy the digital deluxe Ghost of Tsushima, and then I get through the intro, and the intro, you're like running through a village that's being attacked. You have to find your sword, and on your way out, there's like you and your ninja friend. You're at the stables, and there's horses, and she's like, "Let's just take a horse. Let's go. I'll take one of these, and you just pick one." And I walk up to one horse, and it's like a black horse, and then there's a white horse. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to take the black horse, right? Whichever horse you take, she takes the other one, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I'm going to take the black horse. But then I go over, and there's a third horse that's like a tan horse with like a blue saddle. And the game says, this is the digital deluxe horse. Available only. You walk over to it, and this notification just fades onto the screen. This is the digital deluxe horse. Available only to purchasers of the digital deluxe version of the game.
I'm going to name my horse that, by the way.
You respected VIP premium customers, we offer this beautiful horse only to you. And I'm like, my ninja friend doesn't even see this horse, right? She's like looking at the other two horses. There is like a third stall in this stable just for the digital deluxe horse, DDH, right? And it's like, I kind of want the all black horse because this is a story of revenge, you know? I'm driving out the Mongol horde, getting revenge for the murders, the atrocities they committed at my village. I want to ride this black horse of revenge, you know, and make my guy look all sinister. But you know what I did? I chose the goddamn digital deluxe horse. How weird is that, huh? They got me. I'm like, I guess I'll take the digital deluxe horse. After several hours of game, I was like, the horse actually owns. This horse is cool. He looks, Play Ghost of Tsushima, everybody. It's real good.
Electronic Arts is getting itself ready for a buyer. If we pooled all our resources together and chipped in, what would we do with it?
Oh my God, $5. I'll chip in $5.
The question is, what would we do if we collectively owned Electronic Arts?
Does this have nothing to do with EA, or does it? I'm confused about it.
What do you mean? EA is for sale. What do you mean?
Sorry, I thought you meant if we collectively pooled our resources, what would we do with those resources? What would? That's what I thought. Okay, never mind.
No, we've collectively pooled our resources.
Buy a sandwich.
I put in $5. Frank put in $10 billion.
Yeah.
Brandon, you put in how much are you worth? $53 million?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Right. So, okay. So,
well, and I'm clearly laundering money because of the whole nonprofit status. So yeah, I have the $10 billion. Yeah.
I mean, thanks for selling me that copy of Sim Copter for Nintendo 64. By the way, that's why I don't have. That's why I'm down to $5, and Frank has $10 billion.
Well, I'm gonna release Sim Copter for the Nintendo 64 finally.
Yeah, get it out there.
Make some more Burnout games.
Like a sequel to Paradise?
Yeah, a new Burnout would be very nice, yeah.
2 Burnout, 2 Paradise.
All right. What else? Hard Hat Max coming back.
Madden is canceled because it's for bros.
Yeah.
Not real gamers. Real gamers don't play Madden.
Day one announcement is all Maddens are canceled.
Get rid of the cash cow. We don't need it.
Big JM is dead. No more turduckins are being produced.
When asked why, we just say he died.
He's dead. And then, if pressed for further comment, we will comment that Madden's for bros. So we only want to make games that are for gamers.
Yeah, we make games about alive people here at Electronic Arts.
Road Rash is back.
Medal of Honor, just play Call of Duty. Come on, we don't need that anymore. Just play Call of Duty. Titanfall 3, yes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all for Titanfall 3.
Brandon said Road Rash. I like that.
Road Rash is back. Road Rash is definitely back.
I think Skate or Die is back.
Get TT Games to make a sequel to Galahad. Oh, yeah.
Skate or Die. No, it's Skate 4.
Skate 4 :
Skate 4 Die.
Skate 4 Die.
Skate 4 Die. I like that.
Skate 4 Die.
Yeah.
Skate 4 Dead is the zombies expansion.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we should pivot all of our resources into free-to-play mobile projects.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think a gotcha element would be very refreshing. You could collect shards of I don't know who's an EA character I can pull.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's cancel the John Madden games, but let's start putting John Madden on the box art for all the FIFA games.
Didn't they just lose the license to use the name FIFA?
Maybe they did, and maybe they didn't. We're putting John Madden on the front cover of the soccer game.
Yeah, what if we called it John Madden Football, but we're using football in the European
spelling
sense.
it in Spanish, yes.
Right.
I'm actually I'm starting to take this question seriously.
That's always been an option, I suppose.
I almost want to guarantee that the company forever remains independent because I believe it will be the last one. So it's like there's probably some power there, right? Like just being the last.
How would they be? They're we just bought them. Are they independent still?
Well, now they're ours, and we're independent. And I'm just saying that we are setting the framework where we're the last large video game company that is not absorbed by an even larger video game company. And I don't know what that gets us. I just have a feeling that if this whole thing blows over and we're gambling on just remaining independent, it might pay off really well down the line. So that's what I'd do. I would
Once all the giants collapse.
I would steadfastly, I would never panic. I would, Mr. Potter comes to town and we're not panicking, right? Like, not Harry Potter, It's a Wonderful Life, Mr. Potter. And we're holding fast and we're getting through it. And at the other end of that, we're the last independent video game company and we're probably getting a lot of really good opportunity because of it.
Okay, here's what I want to do then. Maybe is create a new game console.
Oh man, wait, should we purchase the trademark to 3DO?
Yes, I was gonna say we would.
What would you call it though? The 3D one?
The 3D owned.
The 4DO.
I don't know what we'd call it, but I actually I don't know. Like the only attempt at something like the 3DO since the 3DO is like Steam boxes, right? Where it's PC stuff, and it's like,
yeah,
I still think there might be something to a licensable dumb box that only plays modern video games and nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, like the equivalent of the Mister, but for modern things,
right?
Where it plays everything, but you can build it yourself. You can buy a prefab one. Everyone can.
Well, I don't know if we make money on that. I'm saying we're building a console like a Switch or whatever that
EA Mini
that anyone can license and manufacture.
I mean,
if you want to make a cool open source thing, we're going to go out of business. And
all right, it's time to pull you guys back down to the ground. That's time. We'll be right back after a quick break.
I was going to say, let's just bring back that EA Partners initiative that made games like Shadows of the Darned, Dead Space, Mirror's Edge, that Syndicate reboot. There was that whole period where they seemed really dedicated to just pushing out a bunch of cool AAA video games and branding them with the EA
thing.
They
forgot about doing that.
It probably worked really well, and that's why they stopped it.
Yeah, well, it's weird. Dead Space did pretty good, and then they just decided, Dead Space, that's what we do. All right, thanks for trying, everybody. We're going to make a couple more Dead Spaces. Everybody else go home.
Welcome back to Insert Credit. It's time for the second installment of our monthly segment, The Golden Age of Konami, where I get one attempt to guess what Tim Rogers considers the Golden Age of Konami.
Oh, let's hear it.
Last time I guessed 1995 to 1997. That was incorrect. This time I'm guessing 1993 to 1995.
No, unfortunately, no.
I'll have to try again next month. It's time to go into the dirt bag. This is our weekly segment where we get a question submitted to us through the donators to patreon.com/insertcredit, where for a nominal fee, you get access to this forum, monthly bonus episodes, other exclusive content, and surprises as they come down. This week's question is from an anonymous donor who says, design a mascot for the ESRB.
A cop.
Very good.
I was going to say a lawyer, but...
a lawyer, but it's drawn by the Penny Arcade guys.
Okay.
So we're contracting Penny Arcade to do the actual art.
To draw the lawyer.
So if it's the ESRB specifically and not the ESA, the ESRB is more of the the overburdening parent, right? Like not the lawyer that controls the whole thing. The ESRB specifically is the this is an appropriate entity. So I think it's more of a Karen, if you'll excuse the term. I think the ESRB.
The ESRB's mascot is a white woman in her early 40s or late 30s, right? Okay, that makes sense. That's the right place to start.
She's not a lawyer. She might have a lawyer in the family because she probably comes from money.
Yeah.
But she's not herself a practicing lawyer because she's too busy being concerned about things that don't concern her.
From what I can tell, the ESRB just they don't really do anything, right? They don't. As far as I can tell, this is my fan theory. The ESRB doesn't have any employees. It's just one guy who's just making money under the table.
They've definitely got some, but there aren't that many of them. There's
have you met
6
them though?
Or something. Danny O'Dwyer did a documentary about them, and you can look right at the people.
Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, so it's probably 6 people because it's they ask you to send videos or whatever of all of your. Do they? Do AAA people have to? I know Sero requires you to send video footage of every single moment of your game in Japan. So I had to work on some of that stuff.
You don't have to send everything. It has to be representative of at the AAA level. At the physical level, there are different things you have to do than at the digital. And you do. I actually just got an email like last week that I was supposed to send them codes for Gunsport that I had forgotten to do, or maybe not realized I had to do. I had to send them codes for the Stadia version, because then they go through again and check if you've made any violations, and then if you have, then you have to pay them several $1,000s. So it's like
That's wild. Yeah, if you hide porn in your game, somebody finds it, and then parents sue. Basically, the ESRB won't protect you because you signed something with them.
So they do kind of check up on your stuff. They're a little more domineering, perhaps, than one might, but they also really have this kind of mom and pop operation vibe where it's just like you get an email from Michael or whatever. It's not like sincerely ESRB staff. It's like some person, a specific person, and when you need to figure things out, you just mail that person. It's pretty odd. It has a very old internet feel to it. Like it feels like you're emailing their Hotmail or their Netscape email or whatever, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, what is this for a? What does this say for a mascot, though?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like just a person is not very exciting. I want it to be like Poochie from The Simpsons or something, where the ESRB is trying to rebrand themselves as cool but failing. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see like a.
And I'm into that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, what are the kids like? They like God of War, and so they try to create like a god, but he's also a furry for some reason.
He's got to be rated E for everyone, whoever it is.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
It should be like Scruff McGruff.
Yeah. There's no one named Scruff McGruff. Okay, there's Scruff and McGruff. Scruff is McGruff's nephew.
Yeah,
Right.
little Scruff.
How do you know Scruff's last name isn't also McGruff?
Oh, that's true, actually.
Yeah, that's right.
They are related.
Dang it.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I was talking about Scruff the Younger. I mean, McGruff the Younger. So
Scruff McGruff,
now-
Chicago, Illinois, 60652.
yes.
There you go.
Incredible.
And that's our mascot.
I think it's literally McGruff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just haul him up out of the bottom of the lake where he currently resides or whatever.
To be fair, he's alive at the bottom of the lake.
He's alive at the bottom
living-
of the lakes.
He can't drown. He's just been there the whole time alive, but
McGruff,
alone.
the undrownable crime dog. He's undrownable. You can't drown this goddamn guy.
It's not usually what we say about him, but
He's
true.
based in Chicago, so he knows all about the arcade scene already.
His name is Dusty
from the early
McGruff now.
days.
Dusty McGruff.
all right. We're out
He's
of
wearing a
time.
Midway
It's McGruff the
t-shirt.
crime dog. We're all in agreement. What is the Porco Rosso of video games?
Shoot.
Oh.
Hayao Miyazaki says that Porco Rosso was designed because he was watching a movie while on a flight, and he was falling asleep during the movie, and he felt it was a pleasant experience to be witnessing a film like in flickers in a dreamlike fashion. So he made Porco Rosso as a film that the ideal way, he says, to watch it is while falling asleep on an airplane. No joke.
Okay.
He wanted it to just be this sort of wispy, sort of old Hollywood, old European kind of Italian style, or kind of crusty sort of movie. I think Porco Rosso is my favorite Miyazaki movie because I like weed stuff. Does this make sense? Even though I don't smoke weed, I have willingly gone to concerts hundreds of times by bands that appeal to people who are high on weed. And I just go there and like it. So I can enjoy Porco Rosso on my television, on HBO Max and Fandango.
Nice.
And I don't know if it's on Fandango.
I don't think Fandango exists anymore. They're Voodoo now.
Goodbye, Fandango.
Oh, as soon as you canceled, like the
Sayonara, Fandango.
you were the only subscriber.
I was keeping them afloat. Yeah.
They weren't allowed to sunset the product until there were no subscribers.
Please let us go. And then
Let us die, Fred. It's time.
just let me die.
Fandango was great. It's too bad.
It was in the Matrix. It like instead of not like this, yes, like this is what they were saying. Until Brandon quit, yes, like this. So I can put Porco Rosso on in the middle of the night and just kind of let it drift on the TV. I still have never watched the English version, which has Michael Keaton as the voice of Porco Rosso. I have watched the French version, which has Jean Reno as the voice of Porco Rosso, and the The Japanese version has Akio Otsuka as the American, and the American version has Carrie Elways as the American. This is making sense to anybody. We're keeping track of this here. So what do we got? Jean Reno as Porco Rosso. Onimusha 3? Is that where we're at here?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
where we're at.
that's where we're landing.
I was trying to think of something dreamy, and I wasn't. What I did think of is Sky Gunner on the PS2, which is a
game with some superficial similarities. Why not just say Tail Concerto?
Well, the reason I feel that Sky Gunner is a little closer is that I feel like the story is a little more in that zone. I mean, it's a little more Miyazaki-ish, and the flying is kind of weird and obtuse and mechanical, which makes me think of that. It's a little more hardcore than you need for Porco Rosso, where you're fading in and out.
I think Porco Rosso is an aesthetic that is ripe for someone to ultra superficially evoke in a small team indie game to resounding retweet acclaim, regardless of the actual material substantial quality of the final product. It might be one of the I feel like it's gonna happen, and when it does, it's gonna be a big deal for like a few minutes on the internet. Though I would say, in all honesty, if I had to pick the Porco Rosso video games, I'd say Drakengard 2, because it's
a little extra hardcore, but
it's not really. I wouldn't call that game. It's pretty it's pretty easy. It's got Dynasty Warriors kind of combat, but it's a little bit snappier. It's got a good dream-like kind of plot, and it also has much flying. For some reason, that was the answer that immediately came to mind.
Have you all ever seen that Snoopy versus the Red Baron PS2 game? I think I've talked about it on here before.
I've got that game on my PS2 right now.
But I mean, that's another visually. I feel like that's pretty on target. You know, for the number of times I've brought this game up, I should probably buy it. I actually don't have it.
Just put a 2 terabyte hard drive in your PS2.
Look, I don't know where my PS2 is. That's part of the problem.
Whoa.
I mean, I know where it is generally. It's just
sounds like you got too many cool things in a small place.
That's right. It's in my garage, as they say.
Garage.
It's in my garage.
My PS2 is right there. It's like 4 feet in front of my finger right now. It's right there.
Nice. Tell it I said what's up.
And in fact, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's on. My PS2 is on.
That's the sound.
I'm right back to the old era, the old original PS2 era, by which I mean my PS2 is right there and my PS1 is right on top of it.
For the past 8 months, we've been addressing your who would win in a fight question submitted on forums.insertcredit.com and pitting the winners against each other, eliminating the overall winner from future competitions. But today, we now have a full bracket of 8 Shadowban fighters. So it's time to determine which of them is the most broken.
Wow, it's actually time. This actually is happening.
This is the season finale of Violence Island.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, we're here. Our first match is Shadow the Hedgehog, the originator of the Shadowban, versus Colonel Volgin from the Metal Gear Solid series. Now, before we get into this, Volgin was a controversial pick because famously in Metal Gear Solid 3, the way you defeat Volgin...
He gets struck by lightning.
He's struck by lightning. And yet, he was able to defeat Pikachu by our ruling. And this raised some hackles, but unfortunately, that's just sometimes how it goes.
I was either not there for that one or I was sick, because this is making me sick just thinking about it.
Colonel Volgin.
Yeah.
I mean, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's fast and he's got guns, and Volgin will eventually die to guns, right? So what's he gonna do? Try to shoot lightning as Shadow? No, it's Shadow, dude.
And Shadow has how many endings?
Shadow's fast.
300 endings?
Yeah, he's got like 300 different endings in his video.
How many does Volgin have? One.
Just one, struck by lightning.
Where he dies, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, being struck by lightning is like my favorite joke to make during a movie. Whenever Mimsy knows I've already seen the movie and won't stop asking, what's gonna happen to this guy? Is he gonna be okay? And I'll be like, don't worry. Is that guy gonna kill that guy? Is he gonna get killed by that guy? Oh my god! I'll just be like, no, the bad guy's gonna get struck by lightning. It's like the joke I'll make so often.
That's what always happens to the bad guys in Final Fantasy 13.
That's true.
Like
joke.
Mimsy. We're watching. My favorite example was Downton
that.
Abbey. Mimsy kept asking if such and such character was going to live or die in Downton Abbey, and I'll be like, no. In the series finale, she gets struck by lightning at her wedding, and I kept saying it. I'm like, you think it's a joke, but it's going to happen.
Our next match is Kratos of God of War versus the Raving Rabbit.
Oh, jeez.
I think
Just one raving rabbit?
no.
All of the Raving
All
Rabbit.
of them?
All of them.
Yeah, maybe you weren't here for this, but we decided the rabbits are infinite.
Yeah. So rabbits, you can't strike them all with lightning. But Kratos, he could get struck by lightning.
That's true.
We don't actually know how
lightning
Kratos...
lightning is irrelevant right now.
No, it's a stormy day on the shadow.
That has not been established.
Yeah, it is.
I'm checking the weather report,
There's
and
storm
yes,
clouds.
there is in fact a storm brewing.
So Kratos actually coming up in God of War Ragnarok. Is it launching in the year 2022? We don't know. Stay tuned to insert credit for more speculation about what games are getting delayed. We got all the hottest news here. We don't know if God of War Ragnarok is coming out in the year 2022 or the year 2023. However, people who played the original God of War know, God of War 2018, know that it ends with Thor, the god of thunder, showing up on Kratos' doorstep, wanting revenge for the death of his brother, uncle, nephew, cousin. I don't know who the guy is. Balder, the guy you killed. I'm not a Norse mythology expert. We don't know how Kratos fares against lightning. We just don't know. We don't know if the god of thunder is going to kill Kratos. So just throwing that out there. You can go ahead and talk about the rabbits.
Yeah, previously we established that there are infinite rabbits, but I don't think that's fair because rabbits are inherently French, and the population of France is 67.39 million. So I'm going to say there are 67 million rabbits.
Well, Kratos can get some big combos if we're talking
Yeah.
PS2 era.
Yeah.
I mean, he can really go toe-to-toe with a lot of dudes at once.
I do think that of the characters that the rabbits have fought, Kratos is the most likely. But rabbits have guns is another thing.
Kratos has a shield now.
He has a shield, and also his
He does.
whippity chains block things.
Yeah.
All around
I
his
also
body.
I'm gonna throw this. I haven't played the newest God of War. I've only played PS2. I think just the first one, honestly. But my understanding from like the E3 stuff I saw, things like that, is that he is a dad, and he's like a pretty good dad, and he's like, he says boy, probably, like maybe not quite as Hank Hill, but
He says
like
it.
he's one of those dads, and I think the rabbits might respond to that level of authority. I don't think anyone's tried that on them.
Oh my
That's
god.
a good point.
He could minionize them, dude.
Yeah.
He could minionize
Yeah.
those rabbits. He could gremlinize them. Maybe they're just going to be on his team.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
so.
point because the rabbits are so like affable and all over the place that he might just be like, let's not fight, let's do something else, and they'd be like skibbity doop dop or whatever they say.
Yeah, we never considered that.
Yeah.
Frenchity French.
I don't want to spoil God of War 2018, but let's just say that Kratos is good at marshaling a particularly mischievous sort of minion, if you know what I mean. Nobody here has played God of War 2018, right? That's a good game, Frank. If you were ever looking
I have it. I'll play
if
it.
you were ever looking for a pretty good video game to play, do you have a PS5?
No, but guess what? It's on the PC.
It's a PC. Yeah, I've got it on the PC, dude.
Yeah.
4K 120, dude. It runs like god darn butter, like hot butter. That's a really, really nice video game that I believe I pitched to Brandon as having, very attuned sensibilities to some of the best old Japanese action games. It's got a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a go.
A lot of substance in there. I'd recommend that one. Also, I think the story's pretty neat, so whatever.
I am in favor of ruling for Kratos shepherding the rabbits into a controllable shape.
Yeah, he's now got the rabbits. The rabbits are his bros now, and we have to deal with it.
Yep.
We do have to deal with it.
The survivor of this is both of them.
Yes.
Yeah, but Kratos is in charge.
Yeah, it's Kratos'
now
mom.
has minions.
Our next match is Takahashi Meijin versus the King of All Cosmos.
Oh, shoot. Takahashi Meijin can press buttons real fast.
It's true, and he can ride a skateboard.
Yeah, he can ride a skateboard.
think the King of all Cosmos can rewrite reality.
I think so.
Can he? I thought he.
We don't really know
We know
what
he
he
can
can
smash up stars. We know he can make stars.
Yeah. Okay, the beginning of the original Katamari Damacy, I believe he's kind of on a bender and he destroys worlds.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think Meijin can damage him is the main thing.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone can damage him. Is there damaging the King of the Cosmos?
Yeah, I'm not
Emotionally,
Takahashi
maybe?
Meijin can throw as many
Little
as many
axes.
tomahawks per second as the player can press a button
It's true.
while riding a skateboard and while jumping really high with the skateboard. He could ride up. I feel like first of all, it's been long enough since Katamari Damacy came out. I'm going to just say this. I don't think the King of all Cosmos is funny. I don't think the writing is cute.
I like it.
I remember seeing a screenshot of like the English version. I only ever played it in Japanese, and just being like, man, just that level of writing. And then being like, why do I feel like I'm going to just see this for 20 years?
It's interesting because I actually think that did end up being true. And as I'm thinking about it, I no longer find it clever, but at the time I did. So I think it was just actually ahead of the curve.
Yeah, it was ahead of the curve in a way. The curve isn't always good, though. The curve is also...
I still find it heartwarming. I played it through it again on Twitch, and I liked the goofiness of it, and I could imagine the sort of person that wrote that and the fun they had doing it. I liked it still.
I liked the game and the aesthetic and the graphics, and I liked the graphics. I liked the game design. I liked the vibe. I liked the music. Just the whole package. It's just anytime there was writing words on the screen, I just kind of snoozed.
I'm gonna go to bat.
Is your argument that Takahashi Meijin is funnier than the King of all Cosmos?
Yeah, just on principle. Yeah, he's he's a real dude who can press a button real fast. Also, he's Hudson.
Yeah.
King of all Cosmos is basically a metaphor for Namco, the corporate overlord who beat Keita Takahashi into submission and made him make a Katamari 2. When King of all Cosmos is kind of a bit of a villain, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's the impression I got when I played the game.
I mean, I think that means more likely that he would win. Like Meijin, Hudson's dead, so.
Hudson perished.
I don't think the King of all Cosmos fights his own battles. I want to throw that out there too.
That's true.
Yeah,
he's got all those princes.
So I don't know, is he sending a prince or is he actually alone on the island and doesn't know what to do? I think
What's faster, Meijin on a skateboard or a rolling prince? I guess it's on the scale of the Katamari.
Oh, I do not think Meijin can defeat a rolling prince. No, I do not.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But the King of the Cosmos, I don't know how he won in the first place, to be honest.
I think just big. He won by big.
He's just a big man.
I find that so boring that I want Meijin to win. That's my vote.
I mean, he's going to skateboard. The King of all Cosmos, just consider, lackadaisically, tortoise in the hair, a hair-like, as the proverb goes, figures to defeat Takahashi Meijin by reaching his arm down and doing a simple finger flick, thinking, I'll flick him out of existence. And Takahashi Meijin's on a skateboard and rides right up his arm and fires about 7,000 tomahawks in a period of
little tiny splinter. I think that the only way
blows him up.
That King of all Cosmos loses is if he gets bored and goes away, which is entirely possible and within his character. So we could say that that's how it happens.
I actually like
he
that.
loses because he gets bored.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say is if King of all Cosmos wins, Kratos killed Zeus, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Let's not speculate to the finals yet.
I'm just saying, Kratos killed Zeus. There's no way King of all Cosmos can beat Kratos.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. That's not how we're voting.
Not the match.
But Takahashi Meijin versus Kratos, that's much more interesting.
Yeah. So I think King of all I think he's out. I think it's a combination of
bored.
I think I'm bored and he's bored. So therefore,
and the skateboard.
Yeah, and the skateboard,
and also Hudson's revenge. I don't know. It's a good story.
He's done. He's leaving.
If you want to say he wins, he wins. Our next match is Sephiroth versus Bomberman.
Why is that one the funniest one?
I mean,
man.
Let's see. So Sephiroth emerges from flames at some point, and they clearly have not damaged him very much. So can Bomberman?
Sephiroth does not emerge from flames. He has lit a village on fire, and he is walking away. The shot is. I've scrutinized this shot professionally.
I was going
for
to
a
say, of
period
all of
years.
us here, I trust Tim's memory of Final Fantasy VII.
He lights a village on fire and then he walks away from
And
it.
you want to
He's
say that's not
watching.
emerging from flames?
He's watching from behind the wall of flame as the village burns down, and then he turns around and just coolly walks away.
I mean, he's pretty close to it.
He does not
Alright.
walk through the flames. He does,
Okay.
however, transcend space and time, and he has become God at one point. So,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I mean, the fire, walking through the fires, he can summon a comet, a meteor to destroy the Earth, but it takes 7 days to do so.
Oh, I remember. Okay, so I remember what happened here, which is that we decided that Bomberman was allowed his power-ups, and
Yes.
Yeah.
so that means that Bomberman can put his ability jacket and keep bombing until Sephiroth is dead, unless Sephiroth can outlast that amount of bombs until the invincibility wears off.
I mean, do you know how cool Sephiroth is?
He's
you
not as cool
understand?
as Bomberman.
His sword is called the Masamune, and it is 8 feet long, Brandon.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Also, if we're going to talk about power-ups in Bomberman, does Sephiroth not have access to all the power-ups in Super Smash Bros?
Oh, so, no, it's got materia and stuff probably. But Bomberman has a kangaroo.
I don't want to open the Smashbox here.
He is in Smash Bros. But then again, isn't Bomberman in the Konami Smash Bros?
Yes.
According to the lore of the Smash Bros. Series, the characters in Smash Bros. Are trophies of those characters brought to life. So it's not literally Sephiroth,
God,
but a Sephiroth toy.
That's so trashy.
Yeah, it's an amiibo.
I'm sorry. That's trashy. Smash Bros. I mean, whatever. Game's cool, but there's just it sure is just a cesspool, a video game cesspool. No offense to it.
No offense to cesspools.
No offense to cesspools.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing, we're not here to insult you.
Who's gonna win?
Oh man, Bomberman, I think.
I have a hard time imagining. Really? I don't know.
Sephiroth's got Genova.
Bomberman has so many bombs.
Can Sephiroth like float? Can he fly?
Oh, he can fly, yeah.
He's a one-winged angel.
So how? If he's not stuck on the ground, I think he wins.
Bomberman After Death in Saturn Bomberman gets into a flying car while dead and throws bombs into the arena at whoever's still there.
Yeah, but like try throwing a bomb and having it detonate on someone who is flying and incredibly fast.
He is quite nimble, yeah.
I mean, that's what the Bomberman's all about.
No, it's not. No, he is not about like precise on impact explosions. He's about setting traps.
I'm going to tell you what, I somewhat recently played 10-player Saturn Bomberman. Number one, wow, that's an opto nightmare. Number two, I don't like this stupid throwing bombs into the arena thing. I think it's dumb, it's trashy.
Well, I like it. The end.
It's not fun for a 10-player game, that's all.
It's fun in the 8-player game.
When it's down to, I don't know. I mean, I think that's debatable. It's unclean. That's all I'm
I
saying. It's
appreciate
unclean.
Brandon advocating for Bomberman, but I think we have a clear winner.
That's fine.
He's got an 8-foot-long sword.
I will say I seeded this thinking that the semifinal match would be King of All Cosmos versus Sephiroth, so Takashi Meijin is a little bit of an upset, but we'll get to that in a second. Our next match is Shadow versus Kratos.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
I've played all of every one of these video games being debated here, and I just don't see anybody topping the Big Boy K.
Plus he's got all those rabbits.
Just to be clear, when we say Kratos, we mean Kratos from God of War, not Kratos the dog from the PSP game Brave story, right?
No, I also don't mean Kratos from that Tales of game.
Oh, yeah. There's in case, a little fun Easter egg, in case you all didn't know that, anybody listening, the PSP game Brave story, which was published by Sony Computer Entertainment in Japan, they named the main character's dog is named Kratos. But you only see him in like the opening cutscene before he enters the Ni no Kuni world.
Pretty video
Brave
game.
Story is basically Ni no Kuni, but before Ni no Kuni, which it's very confusing. It's the exact same plot as Ni no Kuni. Man, that's weird. And then Ni no Kuni. Anyway, Kratos versus Shadow.
Yeah.
I
Got a gun and he's fast.
it's really hard
But
to.
Kratos has several million rabbits.
Oh, I forgot
Several
about
million
that.
raps, and he's whipping these chains around.
Oh, and he's like, yeah, he's probably whipping and like killing the rabbits, but also the rabbit corpses are like hitting Shadow and his rings are flying everywhere. I don't think Shadow, I don't think the speed and guns are enough to overpower a million rabid corpses being flung at him.
But where do we stand on Chaos Emeralds? If Kratos has...
Chaos Emeralds are no match for the Blades of Chaos.
I mean,
which is
he
what
becomes
you
basically
call,
immortal if he's got the Chaos Emeralds, and he was created as the ultimate being.
But I'm with Tim here. I think they're both made of chaos energy, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an adamantium, shield versus claws situation, right? Like, what wins there, Jaffe?
I'm a DC guy, not a Marvel guy.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Come on. But you just don't know anything about those things?
Marvel? No, I'm clueless.
What's stronger, vibranium
it.
or adamantium?
Vibranium. I know that one.
Oh, I honestly...
But irrelevant here because we're talking about chaos energy and
the Blades of Chaos.
Yeah, versus the invincibility powers of chaos, and I think chaos can penetrate chaos. I think the blades can get into Shadow.
I think so. The Blades of Chaos, from a game design perspective, were designed to alleviate what focus testers identified as a lack of precision in 3D action games, meaning that the Blades of Chaos have that juicy animation and they'll lock on kind of softly to the enemy that's the closest one that you might have meant to hit. And then that gradually evolved into this current God of War with the over-the-shoulder camera angle. Spoiler, you do get the Blades of Chaos about halfway through the new God of War. He has an axe, but then you can switch to the blades later. He takes them, he literally digs up in his basement and there's a box where he has the Blades of Chaos kept in them and he puts them on. He's like, I thought I'd never use these again. And then you're now locking on to dudes with these extremely fast blade attacks.
Oh man, is God of War? Oh my God, is it that trope that gets me every time where it's like the old retired guy has to come back,
come out of retirement? Yeah, he's got to do
God, I gotta play this.
Yeah, they get him, but they delay it. They make you think you're experiencing
my God.
Some modern
it works on me every
paced.
time. I'm such an idiot. It just works on me every time.
It's beautiful because the game is this like slow-paced, contemplative father-son story, and then after a while, something comes in and it's like, well, I gotta be the God of War again, dude.
And he's got no choice, right? Like, there's just no choice. Oh, baby.
He the chains of chaos, the Blades of Chaos, bringing great pain to himself. At the very beginning of the game, you see him taking a bandage off of his arm, and you see the scars. He's like rewrapping the bandage. The scars where the blades were like sunken into his flesh.
Stuff.
He's got to put them back on. But anyway, those lock on to fast-moving enemies and just slam them.
Well, hold on. The thing about Shadow specifically,
Yeah.
as opposed to Sonic, is that he has this chaos control ability that literally allows him to freeze time.
Right.
And
that's
I
what it
don't
is.
know how Kratos gets around that, no
That's
matter how
right.
many rabbits he has.
Kratos in God of War has his own ability to freeze time.
That's what I wanted to hear.
So in the new God of War, it's buried in the skill tree somewhere.
So
there's a very big skill tree in this
So
game.
it becomes like it becomes like the
true?
final fight of JoJo Part 3.
Is that true?
What I'm trying to say here is Kratos is thoughtfully designed to be pleasant to control in 3D, where Sonic and his ilk, including Shadow the Hedgehog, have absolutely zero thoughts given to the pleasure of the player in the third dimension.
Which makes me feel like Shadow should win.
No, Shadow's going to be running up a hill, and just a small incline can cause Shadow to
Yeah, Shadow can drive a car.
drive a very ugly car that controls very poorly. I don't actually think Shadow the Hedgehog's a pretty cool game. I got that on my PS2.
Yes, according to the God of War wiki, time control is in fact one of his powers.
Okay.
There it is. He's looking at it right now.
Yeah, the Amulet of the Fates is what would allow him to counter Shadow's ability
Well,
here. I
Okay,
believe.
so chaos counters chaos, right? Time
Yes.
travel counters time travel. They're kind of on equal footing. So I think it has to go to Kratos because he has the rabbit advantage. And I don't know if this adds or complicates things, but speaking of the power of chaos, I think it's worth mentioning that the rabbits are agents of chaos.
That's true.
That's true. They're basically the Joker.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I just want to pause for a moment to say this is a very poetic battle because Kratos and Shadow the Hedgehog are from the same exact movement of video game history. The edgy character moment.
Yeah.
We all remember
That's
this.
true. That's
from
true.
the PS2 era. They're from the same, or cut from the same cloth, as it were, except, and this maybe gives a little bit of an edge to Shadow. Kratos actually represents, even though there is that QTE minigame sex scene in God of War 1, which is about as far as a lot of people get. They don't get too much further than that. Part's very early in the game.
I thought you were going to say that's about as far as most people get sexually.
Yeah, that too. Nice. But Kratos is he represents the volume being turned down on his developers' edge, because Twisted Metal was the previous game by the makers of God of War. Twisted Metal was pretty sick. It's about serial killers in a mental institution being enslaved by the sadistic owner of the mental institution, being forced to drive cars and kill each other. That's weird. God of War is a far tamer. It's Greek mythology, but you're a guy getting revenge for his dead wife or whatever. It's like, okay. Whereas Shadow is the volume being turned up on the edginess of Sonic, right? I don't think any of this is controversial to say.
I would like to say one more thing in Shadow's favor before we vote. Shadow's ability is chaos control. So if everyone here is a chaos element, Shadow is the one with the ability to control chaos.
Now, Blades of Chaos are god darned. They are shackled to Kratos, and he puts them on willingly after removing them, after exorcising the curse. Over a series of 3 blockbuster video games, he is able to remove the blades, and now he can put them on and take them off at will, as is explained very clearly in God of War 2018. He puts them on willingly, and then he can take them off whenever he wants. It just causes him great pain. So Kratos can control chaos.
All right.
He is in control of chaos.
I'll allow it. Okay, let's take our vote.
Are we voting? Okay, I'm voting Kratos.
Kratos, because he's the most like Marcus Phoenix.
Well,
So
I'm still voting for Shadow.
2-1 Kratos.
just don't give me Kratos versus Marcus Phoenix, because my head will explode.
Takahashi Meijin versus Sephiroth.
Right?
I don't know. Let's think about this, because infinite axes at rapid infinite axes. You know, it might take a long time, but I think you could skate around and chuck infinite axes at him until he's dead.
Meijin has like 3 hearts of health, and Sephiroth has like a huge bar. I just don't.
He has several 9s. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a million some hit points in Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's a spoiler. You fight him in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Of course you do. Are we talking Kingdom Hearts Sephiroth or Final Fantasy? That's my joke.
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy VII Remake Sephiroth or Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth? Final Fantasy VII Sephiroth dies because Cloud Omni slashes him. Do we all know what Omni Slash is?
Yeah.
It's Cloud's ultimate flurry of, like, he does 100 really fast sword slashes. That's how he dies in Final Fantasy VII, canonically. Cloud has to hit him like 100 times in rapid succession.
So, oh god, how fast can...
So it is quite a Takahashi Meijin level of commitment.
How is Meijin still here?
I mean, the maximum theoretical, if it's really every button press, right? The maximum theoretical is 60 a second, right? Because 60 frames a second is what Takahashi runs at.
But he does fire 16. Is the real man's ability. The real man's ability is the 16 shot.
Okay, all right. So between 16 and 60 is the theoretical. Yeah, 16 is the most likely. But, you know, if you wanted to get stupid, you could say 60, right?
Adrenaline and such. If he's actually fighting for his real life.
Right. We haven't seen him in actually desperate before. We don't know what he's capable of. He's usually just walking around and there's like snails. You know, he's not fought Sephiroth. He's
collecting
snails.
fruit.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if he can induce Sephiroth to miss one hit, like in Sephiroth's 8-foot sword, the Masamune, gets stuck in the ground, Takahashi Meijin has a chance to skateboard up it. Whilst throwing
this
16
again.
tomahawks per second.
But he has to jump in the middle of going up it because there's a grape up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
gotta get that grape.
Yeah,
Or
what's
watermelon.
the fruit situation here? Because he needs fruit or he dies if his fruit runs out.
It's a lush island. There's fruit around, mostly melons.
Yeah, not like
Melons are hard to eat.
not like coconut or whatever.
So we're saying
Yeah.
the video game rules apply. The man needs fruit, except he needs fruit to live. Except he doesn't just absorb them in a single frame on Violence Island. He has to actually eat them as a human might.
Well, that means he can't throw the axes as fast
Right.
as we're saying.
You can't have both.
Yeah, so I think the axe speed is slower. We're doing a grittier reboot of Takahashi Meijin. Man,
He's inspired by the fight he just saw. Yeah.
Yeah. He's gotten darker. All that
Yeah.
chaos.
he's just you know what I like about Takahashi Meijin is he's just a weird little man with a strong jaw.
Yeah,
That's cool.
kind of a funny face.
Just a weird little man with a strong jaw.
And it's that energy that got him to the semi.
I'm a weird tall man with a weak jaw. So I'll just ask my god darn chiropractor about my neck, which is causing me jaw problems.
And they will respond, "I am not a scam."
Yeah. They'll put some electrodes on your face.
Yeah. Jackson Backcracker, Cowboy Chiropractor.
My heart says Takahashi, but my mind says Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sephiroth wins,
And
unfortunately.
my body's telling me yes.
But my heart is saying no.
Yeah.
All right, let's take our vote.
All right, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote last.
Sephiroth for me.
Yes, Sephiroth as well, I guess.
Well, shoot, I'll give Takahashi Meijin his vote, even though I
His
also
one
think
vote.
Sephiroth. We'll go ahead and give him his one vote.
He'll remember this.
That brings us to our finals. The God of War versus the One-Winged Angel.
Well, man, I was kind of
boy.
hoping it was going to be God of War versus Takahashi Meijin because I was spending all this time pumping up Kratos and all his abilities, and then I was going to say, well, how many times can Kratos throw his axe per second?
Yeah.
Was going to be my great joke, and then I was like, if you watch my video I did about God of War for Kotaku, I explained exactly how many seconds it takes him to throw the axe and retrieve it. It's about 6 seconds. I was going to say he gets completely blown away by Takahashi Meijin.
Meijin's axe.
If it comes straight down to brass axe, it's all about just axe tossing contest. Anyway, Kratos killed Zeus, dude. So Kratos versus Sephiroth is actually just the ultimate god darn game facts.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
fanfiction.
Absolutely.
This is the best. We have Japanese video games versus American video games right here.
Baby.
Also, French video games, those rabbits are still in there.
That's true.
Who's got better hair? That's what I want to know.
I mean, Shadow probably took out, I don't know, 3 million? What does that leave him with?
That leaves us with like
60.
64 million.
Okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Sephiroth was in Kingdom Hearts, but Kratos was in
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
he's in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale or PlayStation Smash Bros. But we got two Smash Bros facing each other more or less. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake a lot, and I played God of War 2018 a lot as well. And it's kind of hard. This is a very difficult battle. Although, again, Kratos killed Zeus. I mean, he ripped Zeus's arms off, man.
I will say Kratos is in Fortnite. Sephiroth, not in Fortnite.
Shoot!
That's a good
So
point.
Kratos has a gun, Kratos has a shotgun and an axe, and the Blades of Chaos, and a son who has a bow and arrow, and he's got one rabbit left.
And he can build, right? Like he's building too. He has more
Yeah.
than one rabbit. He has several million rabbits left.
69,420,000 rabbits left.
There are it's unimaginable horror, but there are currently 3 million rabbit corpses on Violence Island.
Oh, that's
I
terrible.
would say that Kratos being in Fortnite and Sephiroth being in Kingdom Hearts cancel each other out.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So the Smash Bros. Continuum is all that remains. I'm thinking it's Kratos, because Sephiroth's just a man, but he does transcend space and time.
Yeah.
But Kratos did kill Zeus.
And Shadow.
Yeah, I mean, my question to you, Tim, is there any Sephiroth versus mythology canon?
No,
You know what I mean?
he
Like,
would.
is he taking on an actual god? Anything like that?
I mean,
If you want to talk about Dissidia,
Dissidia's got a story to it, doesn't it? That's a horrible.
I don't remember what happens in that one.
It's like doing your taxes on the moon.
there's some gods in that.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
could have just made it like a really cool game, and instead it's got like 42 systems, kind of.
Does Sephiroth have summons?
So Sephiroth's double smash.
So let's just be honest. You know how Kratos, how Sephiroth dies most of the time. You know how players beat Sephiroth. Do we all know this off the top of your head? How do most players kill Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII? Who here knows? Simple question.
I don't.
What do we got?
I never got that far. I don't
Jaffe, do you got this?
I don't.
What, Brandon? Do you know?
Isn't it like summoning Bahamut or something like that?
No, not Bahamut. You're close.
Is it Knights of the Round?
Is it the,
Knights of the Round is
yeah, that's the one.
Knights of the Round is the stereotypical way to kill
Yeah,
Sephiroth.
yeah.
You cast Knights of the Round, and usually that just kills him in one round.
Yeah, that's right.
Usually, Sephiroth is nowhere near I'm taking it all the way back to Final Fantasy VII. I'm taking it all the way back to God of War 1. Sephiroth is nowhere near the strongest opponent you fight in Final Fantasy VII. That would be Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon, the two optional bosses. They are leagues harder to kill than Sephiroth. You have to master the battle system in order to beat those guys. You have to bend the battle system over your knee until it breaks into a billion splinters in order to fight the weapons. Whereas Sephiroth, if you get a gold chocobo and you get Knights of the Round, you can just kill him in one hit. And you get to watch. Who do you watch kill Sephiroth? King Arthur, Lancelot. You watch those guys kill Sephiroth. You've got Cloud, Cid, whoever you've got in your party. Tifa, Red 13, Barrett, right? You got these people, but they step aside to let King Arthur kill Sephiroth, right? Now, could Zeus kill King Arthur? So off the top of your head, just answer with your heart here.
Sure.
Right? I'm pretty sure he could.
He literally gets struck by lightning.
Yes. So, Kratos killed Zeus. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be Kratos. It's going to be a beautiful battle. And I really feel like this is a good opportunity for, PlayStation has this relationship, let's call it that, with Square Enix, where they owned Final Fantasy VII Remake for so long. They're the exclusive home of Final Fantasy 16. Kind of would like to see some Sephiroth DLC for this new God of War game. I think that would. I'm actually kind of thinking that would be a cool. That'd be a cool fight. I'd play that as Kratos. If you see some of these optional bosses in God of War on the hardest difficulty, that 2018 God of War, the Valkyries, you fight these Valkyries. That's so hard, dude.
So anyway, Shadow the Hedgehog wins. Is that right? Shadow wins.
I'm saying it's Kratos. And Shadow's. Shadow. Nobody stays mad at Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Every Sonic the Hedgehog villain has canonically become Sonic's friend in the following game, right? Right.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Knuckles, Shadow. I'm saying that Shadow is like Kratos' buddy now.
So we're all in favor of Kratos here.
Kratos is basically Sonic the Human,
Sure.
I would say.
Here's what I am going to pose further. It's a long, hard battle. It's one truly worthy of the halls and history of Violence Island. Kratos stands over Sephiroth victorious.
Oh, and I want to point out really quick.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the rabbits played much of a part here, so I think it's a fair victory.
They stood around making minion noises the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, Kratos is depleted, taking everything he's gotten. Rabid Peach picks up the Fortnite gun and takes him out from behind.
Yeah.
I am declaring Rabid Peach the winner of Violence Island.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't think it counts because it is not a defeat at the hands of his opponent, so it does not count.
Kratos wants to die,
Dead,
but
like
he's not gonna.
Like if you killed Mike Tyson after a bout, you wouldn't say he just lost that bout.
That's
true.
Wrestling
That's true.
rules don't apply. All right.
I went
Fair enough.
Tyson because he probably should die. Is why I came up with that.
Kratos is our winner. Mike Tyson is canonically dead on Violence Island, joining Untitled Goose and Lester the Unlikely. We'll see you again for season 2 of Violence Island in, 3 months? That seems like a good break. It's time for our lightning round. This week, we're going to play GameFAQ&As again, because I had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one where I go to GameFAQs and go to one of the Q&A boards posted for every video game on the website. Your goal is to answer them as quickly and as pithily as possible. Don't worry about accuracy. Here we go. This week's game for GameFAQ&As is Minecraft. Question number 1. The healthiest way to go back home?
Don't. My parents are very, I don't know. They're very annoying. So I just don't do it.
I don't think that's the healthiest, though. I think that's the easiest. But healthiest would be
to eat at the Chipotle near my parents' house, not to try to go anywhere else.
Yeah, and I think you need to set boundaries. I think you need to have plans for having time away from your parents, and try to remember that your parents are people too, and they're trying their best.
I'm gonna say the healthiest way to go back home is walk there. It gets you good exercise.
That's
or
good.
just
That's
don't
good.
leave. Just stay home.
But if you stay home, you hurt your back. Sorry, I mean we've established this.
That's true.
Yeah.
Question 2. Why won't my cat sit down or stand up?
That's cats for you.
What game is? Oh, Minecraft. That's right.
I think your cat's dead, dude. No offense.
That it's not a cat, it's a pig.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pigs don't stand up.
I don't know.
Famously.
Pigs stand up. That cat's dead. I'm with them.
Not on their hind legs.
How to build a chunk loader?
What?
Well,
Shoot.
You build a loader, you find some chunks, shove them in there.
Yeah.
No, you are just chunk loading now. That is not building a chunk loader.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think the answer is there's a great tutorial on WikiHow with really funny illustrations. The faces in particular are quite amusing.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably right. I'm looking at it right now.
How long will it take me to rebuild Seinfeld?
Very, very long time.
Well, I mean, this has been done, right, Tim? This was done during an entire season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And I would say that season took place over maybe like 9 months in like canon time, something like that. Maybe
But
more
it
than
was
that.
season 7 of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
So do you have to include the first 6?
I think so, but you could. Okay, so the thing is, the first 6 seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm came out over the period of. First season was 99. Season 7 was 2009. So it was 10. It was 7 seasons over 10 years. But let's just say 7 years. I would say. That's how long it takes to remake Seinfeld.
Yeah, because we don't know like what the canon time in Curb universe is, right? Like we don't know. I
think it's supposed to be about 6 months, something like that.
Okay.
Mocha Joe's in there.
Mocha Joe. How do you get hardcore in Minecraft?
You first you buy a Sega Genesis, and then you go down to the craft video game store and see what Konami games they got. Maybe you can get Contra Hardcore.
Contra Hardcorps. I mentioned Contra Hardcore in a YouTube video, and one guy left like 28 comments, and I kept deleting them, and he kept replying, kept asking me why I didn't pronounce the PS in Contra Hardcore. And I kept deleting them, and they kept getting meaner and meaner and meaner and meaner until like it was finally like 14 paragraphs. And then I quit, and then I deleted that one, and then I quit my job. And then I went back there a couple months ago, and he had posted another one. And it was like even longer and more deranged, and it was even more about censorship. And
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Question 6. What needs to go into a hotel?
Bed for sure. Right.
Those little cereal bowls, continental breakfast, dude.
Yeah.
God, I love the continental breakfast.
Terrible overstuffed pillow.
An egg bar, or whatever it is.
Okay, so you're not going for like mandatory hotel features. You guys are.
I'm going for stuff that people miss. Things hotel aspiring amateur hotel builders. They tend to miss.
Okay.
Right, the continental breakfast doesn't always get in there. Just saying, it's a nice to have for some people. For me, it's essential.
A TV with an input. We don't always get that. We should always get that.
A shower with an obscure method of changing the temperature, because they're always different.
Must have.
A Netflix app on the TV that has an average of 6 to 12 seconds between button presses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Latency. Like about at least 6 to 12 seconds of input lag on the Netflix app.
Absolutely.
There's a sign to tell you how it costs $25 to get 2 hours of internet.
Oh yeah, love it.
A bottle of water that you probably shouldn't touch because they'll know, and then they'll charge you $6.
Warm water that says it's free but really costs $6.
Right.
Yeah, and
you need individually wrapped soaps, little individually wrapped soaps that have little nubs on them for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And let's just go ahead and for all of this stuff, let's just go ahead and say a really, really nice shower that has a really, really good spray.
Love a
And it
hotel
makes you
shower.
think, you know what? This hotel's not bad, actually. That's all you need is
That's a good
the
bell.
shower at the end of the hard day of work. The shower just blasts the gingivitis off your teeth or whatever. You don't have gingivitis on your teeth.
Whatever's on your teeth, I don't know.
It just blasts the plaque off your teeth. Just beats the gingivitis out of your gums. And you're like, you know what? This hotel's I'd stay here again.
How's the gameplay?
Just how's the gameplay?
How was the gameplay? Okay.
Well, it's
It's okay.
I mean, it's what you make of it in Minecraft. Really, let's get back to Minecraft. It is what you make of it. What are you willing to bring to it?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a game about creativity. Enjoy. If you're not creative, maybe check out God of War 2018 for your PlayStation 5.
That's a destructive game.
If you want something more directed, would you rather watch TV or would you rather write a
TV.
poem? Or build a TV. Yeah. Write a poem while building a TV. If the latter, check out Minecraft. If the former, maybe Burnout Paradise.
Among Us Sussy Baka Fortnite balls?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I
Wait, no.
guess. I mean,
I'm not sure now. But I think probably yes.
yeah. I would. Yeah, I think no. I think no. Let's just say definitively
Yeah.
no.
No, it's
I mean,
safe.
Okay.
No is what I'd prefer. I suspect that yes.
Well, we have the ability to inform here, so let's just say
That's
no.
true. Okay, so no.
All right. Why won't anything work?
Talk to your legislative body.
I mean, really, it's just you start teaching them about capitalism as a concept. I think. And,
Because the people in charge,
yeah.
they got their the only way those people ever do.
I think the response is just like a novel's worth rant about that.
Yeah. All right. Last question, maybe related. Is there any way to get rid of this?
No.
No.
I mean, there is.
We're stuck. The human experiment has failed.
This is what we got.
There is, but yeah, nobody's
Human
winning.
experiment has failed. That's the end of our
Yeah.
show. Does anybody have recommendations?
I recommend you just give up, man. It's done. Failed.
I'm going to recommend an EP from a black metal band called Akvan. The EP is called City of Blood. It's by an Iranian American who is doing music based on Persian mythology and Zoroastrian stuff and using oldie time Persian instruments, also contemporaneous Persian instruments in a black metal context. It is a little bit, it'll wear you down after a while, but it's definitely cool to hear because you don't get to hear that stuff too much. And they're also explicitly anti-fascist and all that kind of stuff. So give that one a look.
I get myself worn down by god darn everything.
Yeah, hear about that.
I'm just sitting over here getting worn down by playing video games. For example, my lumbar spine, right? So I'd get worn down by some tunes,
Yeah, there you go.
especially these loud ones.
Yeah, they got some lads.
Am I able to turn the volume up on this record?
Oh, you could do it.
Yeah, but
Turn it right up.
do. Yeah, but double dabba do. What's your recommendation, Frank?
Yeah, but Double Dash.
I have a recommendation actually. I think it's just now available on HBO Max. I saw it on HBO Live. I think when it was new, like in a hotel room randomly. But
I love a hotel.
there's a really great documentary about George Carlin's life called George Carlin's American Dream, and it is
Keep on Carlin. It's called.
It is. I'm recommending this because I'm realizing that the whole like the human experiment has failed thing is coming from him from watching this documentary. So highly recommended. Really interesting look at a man's career and life path, and the phenomenally edited sort of ending with his comedy going back to the 70s over horrifying modern imagery to show how timeless this stuff actually is something I'm still thinking about. So HBO Max, George Carlin's American Dream.
I watch that Hobo Max quite a lot. I like it. I guess I would say I finished watching the show Severance. You probably don't need anybody to recommend that show. I mean, there's thousands of people out there.
People like it.
As a professional obscure stuff recommender, I feel my duty to recommend unobscure things here in this segment on the show. Severance was extremely good. It's one of those miraculous things where there's a premise that's good, and my problem as a human who is a frequent writer of fiction, I write a lot of fiction for myself. I will publish some of it someday in some form. As a frequent writer of fiction and a particular fan of speculative fiction and science fiction, every time I encounter a premise that's good, I go into the story thinking, so let's see when and where and how they mess it up.
Yeah.
Right. I know full well, trust me, I know full well that ideas are not stories, right? It's the first goddarn thing they teach you when they give you your gun at the fiction police headquarters, is that ideas are not stories, that you've got to put in a lot of work. There's a lot of work and planning and of a project managerial sort of the variety that goes into getting a story outlined, much less written. And that's not even touching on the quality of the prose or the moment-to-moment writing. Talking plotting, world building. A light touch on world building is nice. Anyway, I go into anything that is of a speculative fictional stripe. I go into thinking that I'm going to encounter, especially when it's a big budget television program thing. I go in with the cynicism just kind of pre-baked in the oven of Black Mirror, which has all these little concepts and then it treats them like popcorn, right? Each episode is a little concept. This Severance show has a miraculously interesting concept. If you don't know what it is, I wholly encourage you, the listener, don't even, just try to get like a week trial of this Apple TV Plus, which has some other neat stuff on it, but try to get like a free trial or whatever and just watch this show if you've been avoiding it for any particular reason, or if you've heard about it and you're curious. Just watch it, man. The premise, I didn't know the premise because I avoid trailers and such. The way they unfurl the premise in the first episode is very good. And then the fact that they've actually built a very good, just well-written, level-headed mystery, suspense, thriller, fiction, science fiction sort of story on it is very nice. Surprises are all well-earned. I could not believe how well it earns everything it sets up. So from the perspective of, I did the homework of writing a couple dozen novels in my life that I'll never dare show anyone. I've done that level of homework, and I can tell you that I can, as surely as I can recognize the badness of my own fiction plotting, I can recognize the sparkling goodness of this show, Severance. Check it out. It gets my highest recommendation, which is about all the tubs of popcorn or whatever, with butter if you like it, and not no butter if you don't like it. I didn't eat popcorn while watching it because I'm on a restricted diet. Thank you.
It's a good show. I have a recommendation. My recommendation is one you may have heard before. It's that if you're listening to the show on any platform where you can subscribe to or review podcasts, that you do that for us. In fact, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to pull up a review right now, see what people are saying about us. All right, I'm just going to read the latest review. I have not prepared this in advance. See what it is.
That's fun.
Are you ready? Here we go. By Good Enough Guy 1, who says, Alex Jaffe sure is a good host. It just needs to be said. But everyone on the show is good too. All right.
Wow. Wait, I'm going to read the second review here. This is actually interesting. One star. Absolutely disgusting. Pushing your political agenda. Not pronouncing the P and S in Contra Hardcore. Every time we get the idea already, You're a liberal. There we go. That's the. I could go further.
Blasted.
Apparently, liberals they don't like to pronounce. They don't call it hardcorps.
So please do more of that. If you subscribe to the show on a platform where you can leave reviews, do that for us, please, to help the algorithm push us upwards and forwards. It also brightens my day. You can also go to patreon.com/insertcredit, where you could become a patron to submit your own topics, listen to monthly bonus episodes, and get other exclusive content. You can join our community as well at forums.insertcredit.com, or follow us on Twitter at insertcredit, or search for Insert Credit on YouTube. This show is edited by Esper Quinn, with original music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Frank Cifaldi.
I'm Tim Rogers.
Brandon Sheffield.
And the human experiment has failed.
To me, the funniest part is I have the source code for the game. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
Tim?
pretty good. Can't find this cartridge, but here's the source code.
I'm sorry you're in a situation where you have so many cool things that it's hard to find any particular cool thing at a given time.
I was talking about this earlier. It's like, it sounds like a humble brag, but it's just frustrating. Like, I'm looking for this thing and I'm opening boxes and it's like, there's like 100 PS1 review builds in here. I'm like, I don't even know where these came from. What are these?
Somebody should have some kind of organization
You'd think that would solve it, Jaffe. You'd think that would do it.
to label and categorize these things.
We have a full-time librarian. That is his job.
There you go. That's who you call to find this. This is his job.
Where did you catalog this, Phil?
Right. You're paying that guy so you have someone to blame for this.
I'd say you should just kill him.
I don't want to kill Phil.
Should fill him.